This is Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with...
Danelle Dadigan, president and founder of the Hollywood Museum. Well, today we're absolutely thrilled to present Authors Day. And today is a day with 23 authors that have come, most of them celebrities writing memoirs, and several very famous Hollywood historians writing about Hollywood, the history, the entertainment business, and how it all came to be. So the Hollywood Museum first opened its doors in 2003 by appointment only, and we have endured, and we are thrilled to be back after the pandemic. Excitingly enough, we've got so many of these authors today that are going to autograph their books as well as make wonderful comments live here to all of our people.
This is Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with...
Dee Wallace.
What brings you here today?
Well, I'm here at the lovely Hollywood Museum at a book signing event for my 2 new books, Born, Giving Birth to a New You, and Bupalopaloo and the I Love Me's. And both of these books teach the principles of how to manifest everything you want in your life.
Everything?
Everything. There's a formula, and it's easy. Look, I'm Emmy nominated. I have over 250 films now. I look great. I'm healthy. I must be doing something right, you know. Well, all the principles in here have created that for me.
The title of the book, please.
Born, Giving Birth to a New You, Bupalopaloo and the I Love Me's.
Where can we find you on social media?
Oh my gosh, I'm all over social media. Don't ask me to. My daughter does it for me. I don't know what all the freaking handles are.
And you're 23, correct?
I'm 23, yeah.
And your name again, please?
Dee Wallace.
And she's 23. Thank you very much for dropping by.
Ciao.
Hi, this is Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with...
Maria Quaban, Whitesell.
What brings you here today?
Hi, I'm here today to introduce everybody to my book called You Can't Do It Alone. And it's a book about my journey, our family's journey with my late husband's short battle with glioblastoma. This is the rare and terminal brain cancer.
And where can we find you in social media?
You can find me on @Maria'sEarth. This is on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also on TikTok @Maria Quaban. And you can also find more information on my website, mariaquaban.com.
Thank you very much. Hi, my name is Mighty with Bionic Buzz, and we are with...
Ruta Lee, who wishes you a beautiful holiday season. And I'm so glad to have a little time with you so I can tell you about my new book, which is called Consider Your Ass Kissed. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. If you've ever turned the television set on because I'm on, or come to a movie theater to see me, or come to the live theater to see me, above all, if you buy my book, please do consider your ass kissed at Christmas and every day of the year. Happy holidays, everybody.
Where can you find you again in social media?
Social media, just go to my site, rutalee.com, and above all, do come to the Hollywood Museum. This is a repository of fabulous things that has been collected from all of the great stars of Hollywood, and what a gorgeous place to spend some of your time. Every tourist in the world should come here. In fact, we in Hollywood should come here and relive some of our past. God bless.
Thank you very much for dropping by.
You very much. I'm delighted to be with you, and I thank you and wish you all a beautiful Christmas season.
Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with...
Judy Tenuta, the petite flower giver goddess, fashion plate saint, and love goddess.
What brings you here today?
Well, my book, we're having a book forum, and this is my book, Full Frontal Tenudity. Yes, there it is. And yes. And you say, Judy, why did you write a book? Well, the thing is, I had all of these photos. I had all these pictures I wasn't using. So I said, I need to tell stories about. Look at that. That was a goddess statue somebody sent to me. Can you see it? Okay, and I had to talk about that. And this was me. I'm from Chicago, and this is me next to the special the White Sox won that year, so they wanted me to pose. And so there's a lot of really, oh, here I am. I don't know. Am I possessed by someone? What is that? I'm the changeling. I'm the changeling there. And then, oh, these are my recipes. I have I don't cook, but I have 4 recipes. Look at that. You know. Hi. Yeah. So this one is the sassy, the baked sassy salmon. And, oh, just wonderful. Anyway, and then here's me with all my food. It's all about, I say life is all about friends, food, and fun, right? And so look at me with this cheese ball. How about that? Okay. And it's all about, oh, no, this is the best one. Look at that. Breakfast in bed. That's breakfast in bed. How do you like that? You can't do better than that. Breakfast in bed. Okay, and oh, this is a picture that a great photographer took of me in New York. I love this. Now, it's kind of, but isn't it kind of cool? It's like, oh, film noir. I like it. And here's me as Lady Gaga. And here's me with my trainer. He's pretty hot. Yeah. And oh, here, now I look like, people tell me I look like Madonna, but not now, because she's had so much surgery. She looks like an alien. What the hell's that about? But here's me as when she was doing her, what tour? Blind Ambition. Oh, Blonde, sorry. Blonde Ambition. But doesn't that look like, it looks like her. You thought it was her. She thought it was her. And then, oh, the title of the book, Full Frontal Tenudity. Yes, you can love this book, all right? It could happen. And check me out on Facebook, on Twitter, I'm even on TikTok. What am I doing on the damn TikTok? Like 3-year-olds are going to look at this? TikTok.
Depends upon the 3-year-old.
The 3-year-olds love the goddess. They do. I'm good with toddlers, not as good as Woody Allen, but I'm good. All right, so this is it. Full frontal tenudity. It could happen. Bye.
Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with
George Chakiris.
What brings you here today, George?
Well, the museum. Love the museum. We're all here for the museum, and we're all quite a few people here autographing their book, their personal books, their memoir. I do.
What's the book?
Okay, sorry. My book is called. You won't surprise a lot of people. It's called My West Side Story. So I'm here today signing books. Yeah.
Where can they find you in social media?
You can find these books for sale at Amazon. I think it's probably the best way to buy it. Amazon.
Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with
Laurent Gubler.
What brings you here today, sir?
You know, I'm here to talk about my new book, hot off the presses, The Walk of Dreams. And this book is the first general interest book that's ever been written about the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which is kind of hard to believe considering the Walk of Fame is over 60 years old and there's never been a book written about it. So I led the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce for 26 years and participated in more than 600 Walk of Fame ceremonies. So if anybody had a chance to observe the Walk of Fame, it was me. And over those many ceremonies, I heard hundreds of speeches and talks, acceptance speeches from our celebrities. And a lot of what they say is very interesting. And I said, you know, it's too bad more people don't get to hear this. Somebody should write a book. And I said, you know, I think that somebody is me. So I've been working on this for 4 years, pulled out some of the best comments that any of our celebrities said. A lot of them are very inspirational, and put it together in a book, as well as a lot of background behind-the-scenes information about the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I paid tribute to Johnny Grant, who led the Walk of Fame for 28 years. Johnny, for years, would say he was going to write a book, and he never did. So I'm finally writing this book for Johnny Grant to tell people about him so he isn't forgotten. So it's kind of a combination of things that led to the book, and I'm very proud that it's finally finished.
Thank you very much for dropping by.
Nice to be with you.
And this is Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with
Joyce Boullet.
Joyce. What brings you here today?
Well, I was invited to come and talk about my book, My Four Hollywood Husbands, which is about my marriage to James MacArthur. You might know Jimmy from Hawaii Five-0, Book 'em Dano. And yeah, a lot of the Disney films. And then I was married to Ed Mallory, who was on a star of Days of Our Lives. He played Dr. Horton. And then I was married to William Asher, who was the producer director of, at the beginning of I Love Lucy and all the Beach Party movies and the Patty Duke Show. It goes on and on. I was so lucky to be married to wonderful men, very talented. And then the love of my life, Roger Perry, who was a composer. He was on Star Trek. He did over 300 TV shows. And our love story is woven throughout the book with the background of the golden age of Hollywood. And it's about addiction out to alcohol and other things, and being codependent, and how you can get through that and go on with your life and have a happy ending. And talking about happy endings, this wonderful Hollywood Museum where I am right now, everyone should come visit it. I mean, King Kong greeted me. It's very exciting, but you have to watch out for Jaws. And but they're just wonderful things here to see. Everybody, please come and enjoy the museum. It's here for you. And happy holidays.
Thank you very much for dropping by.
Thank you for having me.
Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with
Kathy Garber.
What brings you here today?
Well, I love the museum. The Hollywood Museum is such a beautiful place to go and to do some book signings. And I have a couple books that are out for this year to celebrate, I hate to say it, the 55th anniversary of Family Affair. So this is my 5th book, and this is the Family Affair scrapbook. This is the hardcover collectible, and then I have the soft cover, and that goes along also with a book that I wrote, Surviving Sissy, and it was published in 2015, but they're bringing it out in paperback to help celebrate. And we'd love everybody to come to the Hollywood Museum to celebrate this wonderful book signing and to see my new book.
Can you tell us a little bit of the book?
This book is about my 4th book about Family Affair. My first one was the Family Affair cookbook. Then I had the holiday recipes for a Family Affair. Now this is more of a pictorial pastiche of different kinds of things from the show Family Affair that ran from 66 to 71, and that's still on. And this is a compilation of different pictures of memorabilia, of some back of the scenes pictures, as well as little biographies of our notable guest stars, how the show got started, and what makes it still so popular today.
The name of the book again, and where can we find you on social media?
And the name of the book is The Family Affair Scrapbook, and you can go to my website, kathygarver.com, to order it. You can also like me on my Facebook fan page, or Kathy Garver, just straight, and I'm on Instagram at KGSissy.
Thank you for passing by.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
This is Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with
Anson Williams.
What brings you here today, man?
I am at the Hollywood Museum having a great time because I'm selling my book. And the Hollywood Museum actually made it possible for many, many celebrities to sell their books that I'm buying. But anyway, we're having a great time. It's so festive. The Christmas decorations are great, and very fortunate to be here. What?
What's the title of your book?
I'm just kidding. I heard it. The title... Barumpum. The title of the book is Singing to a Bulldog.
Can you...
It's called Singing to a Bulldog.
Can you say something about the book, please? Just a little.
Okay, something about the book, please. Okay. Very quickly. Yes, I was doing Happy Days way back when. It started to become popular. and we weren't paid like stars of today, nowhere near. And I've always been one to see what I had, not what I didn't have. So I thought, is there any, what can I do being on this show? And David Cassidy was a friend, and he's explained to me how much better he did off the show singing than on the show. But he was singing on a show to do better off the show. So I thought, God, I sang, I did musical comedy, I did nightclubs. So I found Gary Marshall early one morning, and I said, do you have a minute? He goes, yeah, you got a minute, I'm busy. Okay, walk with me. So I walked with Gary Marshall, and I did my elevator pitch. I said, Gary, you got girls in the show, you got cars in the show, you got Arnold's, we need a band in Arnold's. I sing. He goes, stops, you sing? I go, yeah. He says, are you good? I go, not bad. Band, I used to be a drummer. There's a show coming up, it's a fraternity show. Yeah, I can fit a song in. Yeah, let's try it out. Yeah, Richie could be in it, and Donnie can be in it, Ralphie can. He goes, go talk to Bobby, pick a song. I'm walking away thinking, hey, I just changed my life. I'm singing on national television. Then I hear far away, but you're singing to a bulldog. I go, why? He said, well, Elvis did on Sullivan. He was really good. It was kind of funny. He says, and I believe you're good. I don't have time to listen, but if you're good, I get laughs. If you're bad, I get laughs. You're singing to a bulldog. And there I was, first time on national television. Well, bless my soul, what's wrong with me? They cut to, of course, the dog leaves in the middle of the song. But Gary liked it, and he started letting me sing like every third episode. I got signed to Chelsea Records, David Cassidy's label. I started getting booked for concerts. I was making $1,200 a show for Happy Days and $17,000 a night doing concerts. And Gary Marshall came up to me and said, I'm proud of you. You don't bitch. You found something good. You're using the show right, and you're helping the show too. I'm proud of you. We're going to do a lot more songs. And the reason I call my book Singing to a Bulldog, that one song changed my life. It turned it all around and right up the mountain. So there you go.
Thank you very much. Amazing story. Thank you very much for dropping by.
You bet. Take care. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Hava Nagila.
Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with
Hank Garrett.
What brings you here today, Grant?
Well, I'm here because, first of all, the gentleman who's running this is my publicist, Harlan, and also I'm raising funds for disabled American veterans. I do this all over the world. So far, I've raised over $60,000 selling books and personal appearances and autographing different pictures of different movies and television shows I've done. I started doing that. I went to Vietnam. I went there on my own. I went there 3 times, and I did frontline entertainment. I'm a comedian. I was Tony Bennett's opening act for 4 years. And I saw the kids that were fighting to save us. And I wondered what I could do to help. And so I started raising funds for the disabled American veterans. And as I said, so far I've raised over $60,000, selling books and personal appearances. I only take my cost. Everything else goes to the vets. God blessed me, and I'm trying to extend that God blessing onto others.
Can we see the book, the title of the book?
It's From Harlem Hoodlum to Hollywood Heavyweight. And it's about my life on the street. And Sammy Davis Jr. got me off the street. And he got me started in show business by getting me jobs up in the Catskills, learning to be a comedian. And I wound up, as I said, Tony Bennett for 4 years, and among others. And 20 years after he got me off the street, I was at the Sands opening for Tony Bennett, and Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Peter Lawford, and Sammy Davis were sitting ringside. And everybody ran back to see Tony after the show. Sammy stayed because he said, I looked familiar. And I said, Sam, I'm the kid you said is going to go to prison or die. And we both cried. We hugged and we cried. And none of the wonderful things that have happened to me could have happened if my angel, God sent me an angel by the name of Sammy Davis Jr. I go to prisons and I talk to kids that are incarcerated. And I tell them, there's an angel out there for you, every one of you. But you've got to be ready to listen. You've got to use your ears and your heart to hear the message about what you're going to have to do in your life.
And all of this in the book.
Every bit of it is in the book. Absolutely.
Thank you very much for dropping by.
Thank you.
This is Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with
Mark Wanamaker. I'm the Hollywood historian with Hollywood Heritage, and I'm a consultant to all the museums in the world relating to the history of the film industry in Hollywood.
What brings you here today?
I came here today because I support this museum, the Hollywood Museum here, and very important that younger people get to know what this museum is and other museums like it. And I'm an author, I'm a lecturer, and a historian of the history of Hollywood, Los Angeles, the film and TV industries in the United States. And this is one of my latest books, this book right here, which is Hollywood Trains and Trolleys. And basically, the Hollywood Trains and Trolleys is not just about trains and trolleys and films. This is about simply the creation of the film industry. The very beginnings in the 19th century, leading up to New York, East Coast, and coming out west. And of course, the transportation systems, that's railroads and trolleys, were an integral part of the creation of the film industry. In other words, the first films were made about trains. The Great Train Robbery in 1903 was all about trains and stations and robbing. And then later on, of course, when they came to Los Angeles, they built their studios on existing trolley lines, so everybody could come to work on a trolley. They used the trolleys as stars in the films. They used trains as trolleys as stars in their films. Eventually, they bought trains, they bought trolleys, they brought them to the studio lots. They created their own railroad stations on their back lots and ranches. They actually took pieces of the trains, brought them into special effects stages, and they then, of course, would do special effects using the trains and trolleys. So, and of course, the publicity to end this whole thing, the publicity of trains and trolleys and the history of, like, Gloria Swanson going to New York and Chicago, she's riding the Southern Pacific. So they advertise their films, they advertise the trains and trolleys, and of course, the studios. And that's what this book's about.
Amazing story, huh?
Thank you very much for dropping by.
Where can we find the book and you?
This can be found Amazon, all over the world, everywhere, and it's a very unusual, it's a collector's item book, published by the Los Angeles Historic Railroad Foundation.
Thank you very much for dropping by.
Thanks, Mark.
Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with
Carolyn Hennessy.
What brings you here today, Carol?
Well, first of all, anything for Donnell Dadigan, anything for Harlan Boll, and anything for the Hollywood Museum. But it's the first annual Authors Day, which is very exciting. And there's so many people around selling like old Hollywood, books about old Hollywood and old Hollywood stars. And I've got my fictionalized account of everyone in General Hospital, which is hilarious. So
tell us about your book.
Well, the higher ups at ABC Disney knew that because of my YA book series, the Pandora series, that I could write and maybe get something sold. So they asked me to write a fictionalized account of everyone. This was about 11 years ago, so 2010. Everyone who was like the main characters on General Hospital from one particular character's perspective, and that's Damien Spinelli. And for those who do or do not know, Damien Spinelli on the show isn't your normal soap opera, hunk. He's this computer tech wizard, and in his head he thinks he's Sam Spade. So these are all accounts of his various cases and capers, and with all of these, one or two per story, and it's hilarious. And he tells them all to my character Diane Miller over the course of an evening. So they're a lot of fun. So I'm just here for the cause, helping out, wanting to buy a lot of books, and I think everyone should come down, especially when we do this again next year.
Where can we find your book and you?
You can find it at www.carolynhennessy.com. That's my website. You can also find them Barnes & Noble. You can order them on Amazon, this and the Pandora series. So you can find them. Just ask for them. Just ask. Right here. Or you can come down here right now and get this book for a discount.
Thank you very much for passing by. Oh, it's
Pleasure.
It's Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with
Larry Strauss.
What brings you here today, sir?
I have a new novel out. It's called Light Man, and I'm very excited about it, and hope people will read it.
What's the title of the book?
It's called Light Man. All right.
Tell us something about the book.
Well, I was actually gonna. Sorry. I was gonna read a part of it. Is that okay? All right. Well, as a lot of people know, this is another book. I helped my mother write her memoir, Charlotte Ray. Am I covering anything? The facts of my life about her whole life, not just the time that she was the star of a TV show. But one of the things that inspired me in this book was early in my childhood. She did a lot of commercials. She also went through a lot of emotional strife and a lot of emotional stress. And so there's a character in here that is based on my mother. Let me find the page. All right, and I'm not gonna do any more spoiler alerts.
Again, the book. The title of the book.
The title of the book is Light Man.
Where can you find the book?
And you can order it anywhere books are sold.
And where can you find your social media?
I'm on Twitter and Facebook, and I'm a opinion columnist for USA Today, so you can read my work all the time. Larry Strauss.
Thank you very much for passing by.
Thank you.
Jeffrey Mark.
What brings you here today, Jeffrey?
What brings me here today at the Hollywood Museum is to sell my books. This is Author's Day. Yay! One by one. The Lucy book, your one-stop shopping center for Lucille Ball's television career. Every time she was on television, from live TV to the end of her days, it's all between these covers, with a foreword by Steve Allen, and this is authorized by her estate. Then we have Ella. Well, what more do I have to say other than Ella? Ella Fitzgerald. This is my book about her. Comes in two flavors, the book, and we have a special 2 CD set that goes with the book. Songs I've chosen from every decade of her recording career. 1 CD is in the studio, 1 CD is live, and they're all with the book for an extra $10. So we have Lucy, we have Ella, there's also Ethel Merman, the biggest star on Broadway. Just come by and shop, but come by the Hollywood Museum because this place is amazing.
Tell us something about yourself.
I'm Jeffrey Mark. I am a jazz singer. I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm an actor. I'm an author of best-selling books. I write and produce for television. I give lectures. I have a podcast called Jeffrey Mark Plays Ella, and I'm a talk show host.
Where can we find you social media?
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me around the corner practically anywhere you look. And Ella Fitzgerald, the podcast, is on every platform you can think of.
Thank you very much, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to everybody. Happy holidays. Buzz, buzz, buzz.
This is Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with
Kevin Goetz. I'm the author of Audienceology, How Moviegoers Shape the Films We Love.
What brings you here today?
What brings me here today is this wonderful museum, which honors Hollywood and the legacy of Hollywood, and how all of the authors in this room have contributed to the history of Hollywood, and so the wonderful connection that we all have here to this beautiful museum. It's just wonderful. It's a tribute to this glorious town and this glorious business that we're all lucky enough to be in. So my book, Audienceology, it's from Simon & Schuster, talks about how you, the audience, have actually shaped the films we love by your opinions and your feedback through audience test screenings. It's happened since Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, all the way up to today. So it's been going on for all these years, and I think it's a fascinating read. It's fun as heck, and we're already #1 in our category, and it came out last week, so we're very blessed. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I hope people support the museum, and I hope you buy my book and enjoy my book as well.
My name is Myri from Bionic Buzz Media, and we are with...
I'm John Barber. How are you? Okay.
What brings you here today, sir?
Listen, I'm here at the Hollywood Museum, another museum piece, to sell this book. Your Mother's Not a Virgin, The Bumpy Life and Times of the Canadian Dropout Who Changed the Face of American Television. For 5 years, I was the film critic at KNBC on the 6 o'clock news with Tom Snyder. You might remember Tom. He was a kind of anchorman that gave you the impression the news was there to bring you him. And in any event, I think, as a critic, if I said to you, to me, the greatest performances are one-man shows or one-woman shows. As a critic, I gave 3 standing ovations to Hal Holbrook as Mark Twain Tonight. Theater does not get better than that. And if I were to tell you the greatest musical group in history, both musically and politically, with the most influence in the world, would be the Beatles, you'd have to agree with me. So I'm telling you, this is by far the greatest, most informative, funniest book ever written about anybody in television. When I was 46 years of age, I was unemployable. When I was 47, I had the #1 most creative, most original show in television, Real People.
Where can we find your book, sir?
Well, you can find the book on Amazon, and you can buy this right out of my hand for $20 if you want.
Again, your name and where can we find you social media?
John Barber, BARBOUR, and my website is www.johnbarbersworld.com. You go there and you'll see the greatest, most interesting, most entertaining videos you ever saw. And by the way, if you ever saw the movie JFK with Kevin Costner, you can see the real Jim Garrison on my site with the Garrison tapes. It won the San Sebastian Film Festival Award, one of the greatest documentaries ever made in the United States.
Thank you very much for passing by.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Happy holidays. Buena suerte. Feliz Navidad.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
In Italian.
Oh, I don't know it. I don't know it.
Okay, thank you so much again. Thank you. Mighty here from Bionic Buzz, and we are with
Michael Stern, author of I Had a Ball, My Friendship with Lucille Ball.
What brings you here today, sir?
Oh, I am so excited to be here at the Hollywood Museum today. I visit it at least once a month. It's one of my favorite places to attend because there's always so many different exhibits here. Like right now it's Bob Hope, but they've had Batman, they've had the Bionic Woman, they've had Gilligan's Island. They always have all these wonderful events to go to. And plus there's a Lucille Ball room, the Red Room, which a lot of my items are in there. So I love visiting. The book is called I Had a Ball, My Friendship with Lucille Ball. And it's my life story with Lucy because Lucy used to call me her #1 fan. And so these are my stories when I was with Lucy.
Okay, where can we find the book and where can you find your social media?
TheLucyFan.com is where you can find me, and I hope you do find me. And the book is available on my website, TheLucyFan.com.
Thank you very much and happy holiday.
Thank you very much. You too. Thank you. Happy holidays. Goodbye.
This is Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with
Carol Honig. We are at the Hollywood Museum here in Los Angeles, California. I'm from New York, so this is a pretty big deal for me.
And what brings you here today?
I am brought here today by the greatest reviews I've ever read, and this is a book I did with John Barber, who was a film critic in the 1970s. Should I, right here? Okay, in the 1970s, and I interviewed him about his reviews, and I talk about my books and my the movies that I loved, and so it's all a book about how movies are related to our lives. I'm a novelist, so I also wrote Without Grace and Of Little Faith. These are my two novels. So, and I have a okay. All right, Without Grace. And I wrote a prequel to Without Grace that my agent has now. And then Of Little Faith, that's my other book. And I also have another book called The Author's Guide to Planning Book Events, but I didn't bother bringing that one here today. Like, whatever, why not? So, yeah, so here we are. And so I'm so excited to be here at Hollywood Museum. I can't wait to walk around and see everything because who can't love movies and all the memorabilia that's with it? So it's a lot of fun. Why don't you come absolutely to the museum, because you will have such a treat and it'll bring you back in memories of the movies that you loved, maybe movies you didn't love, but it's fun to see all the memorabilia in it. And I can't wait to see the ruby slippers. I heard that there's ruby slippers, so I want to see those.
Where can we find the book and where can we find you in social media?
Okay, you can find my book at, you can find it in your local bookstores, ask for it, and online. I work for a bookstore. I owned a bookstore, so I don't talk about that other place where you can get books online. But I do publicity, and I do events with other authors, and I do editing and ghostwriting, so I do all of the above for, all sorts of things. So you can find me at carolhonig.com, and the same on Facebook. Instagram is Corkscrew Books, because I like wine. And also on Twitter, you find me as Carol Honig on Twitter as well.
You said you have a bookstore. Can you?
Store for 4 years. I worked for Borders Books for many years, but then I owned a bookstore on Long Island for 4 years, and now I do some book events for a bookstore in Oyster Bay, Long Island called Theodore's Books that is owned by former Congressman Steve Israel. So we do a lot of stuff there, and that's a brand new store, so we're having fun with that one too. It's called Theodore's Books in Oyster Bay, New York.
Message for the people for this holiday.
Oh, happy holiday? Absolutely. Have a wonderful holiday season, and buy books. Buy books for the holiday for family and friends, because I know I am, definitely.
Thank you very much for passing by.
Thank you. This was lovely. Appreciate it.
Hi, this is Mighty from Bionic Buzz, and we are with
Kelly Conway.
What brings you here today?
I have a book that's being released later this month. It's called My Dad's Funnier Than Your Dad, and it's about growing up with my dad, Tim Conway, and growing up with a really funny guy in a funny house.
Social media, where can we find you?
Media, it's My Dad's Funnier Than Your Dad. You can buy it wherever books are sold, Amazon, Target, and social media is Kelly ___ Conway on Instagram.